Welcome. All right, I'm waiting for a few seconds while a few people pop in. Hi, Lemon Brands, thanks for joining. There you go. Now we're ready. All right, I'm going to give it a few minutes as people are coming in. As you're coming in, say hello. So, Lemon Brands, what do you do? All right. Now people are starting to come in, so I'm going to say hello to all my replay viewers. Thank you for taking time out of your day, for watching me. Please come say hello in the comments or put hashtag replay so I can come and say hello. If you are new to me, my name is Tina Marie. I am a mindset success coach for overwhelmed entrepreneurs. I help them build profitable business models so they know exactly what to do each day and they don't feel overwhelmed and in chaos. Wednesdays is my live session for wellness. I am not a health expert, so just a little caveat and disclaimer, but I'm going to share some things that I have learned and implemented myself. So I want to talk about self-compassion. I see this a lot. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for joining. Why do we need to show self-compassion? So before I start giving you my tips, I want to talk about why we need to start showing ourselves self-compassion. It's important for us to show ourselves some self-compassion or some compassion. Is it helps us build a healthy self-esteem and it helps us build resilience. And we need resilience and we need to have a healthy self-esteem when we're building our businesses, when we're putting ourselves out there, growing our businesses, regardless if you're a product-based and business consumer, business to business, or you are the face of your brand, you are the leader and the owner of this business division. So you are going to have to step into a leadership position. And oftentimes this business, regardless of what industry you're in, can be really heavy. It can be hard. You see those memes about the entrepreneur roller coaster. This is going to help us work through those tough times and help show ourselves a little bit of love. So when we have self-compassion, we're less likely to depend on other people for external validation. And that's super important because when we need external validation, and I am a recovering perfectionist here, type A perfectionist, we end up breaking boundaries, not creating boundaries. We end up overextending ourselves and never feeling valued. We also, when we don't show that self-worth, we don't price ourselves at the appropriate rate, whether you're service-based or retail. And we need to start showing ourselves self-worth. Here's the thing. If we don't love and respect ourselves, how can we expect anybody in our lives, whether it's friends, family, spouses, and especially customers and clients, to love us and respect us if we don't love and respect ourselves? So that is why it's really important to start practicing some self-compassion with ourselves. And also, it can be really lonely being a business owner. We might have really super supportive spouses and friends, but they may not understand the entrepreneur journey or understand what we go through as a business owner. So showing ourselves some self-compassion can really help us in that. So starting with my top 5 tips on showing self-compassion. My number one is, I tell my clients this, and I've started doing this myself, is treat yourself as if you were your best friend or your child or someone that you really love. Because I say this because the things that we say to ourselves, that self-critic, the mean talk that we say to ourselves, we would never talk to our best friends this way. We would never talk to a child this way. And so I really want you to pull yourself outside and be objective and look at yourself during that moment. If that person was your best friend or that person was a child, what would you say to them? And so start moving that negative inner critic into how would you boost them up? How would you develop kind of that growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset? So picture yourself as if you were a little version of you or your best friend, someone you truly love. You wouldn't want them talking to themselves that way. You wouldn't speak to them that way, and you wouldn't like them to speak to you that way. So treat yourself that way. Become your best friend. So step 2 is give yourself grace. Oftentimes we hold fear and shame in making mistakes, but we have to learn that no one is perfect. We're on the same boat, that we are growing individuals, we are complex, and we're going to slip up from time to time. regardless if it's a small mistake or a big mistake, we have to start giving ourselves grace. I like to say that everyone talks about like specific systems, all the experts, like if you just follow my system, you'll be successful. It doesn't work for everybody. That's why not everyone actually, I'm very big about teaching my clients. I will teach you business models. I will teach you business strategies, but at the end of the day, you have to pick and choose what are the right ones for you. And so you're going to make mistakes, but the thing about mistakes is they are learning opportunities. They are not failures. So think about that. And so forgive yourself, and forgive yourself on things outside of business. Forgive yourself about having a bad day and snapping at a friend. That's why I like to write down 3 things at the end of the night during my wind down evening routine. 3 things that I forgive, whether it's specifically to another person or to myself, to practice that forgiveness. So my number 3 tip is stop comparing ourselves to other people or comparing yourself to other people. What we see on the surface is just like that analogy of an iceberg. We only see the top part, the top 10%. What you see on Instagram or what you hear people talking about in conversations. Just think about yourself. You don't really share everything that's going on in your life. So when we see people being really successful in our business and we start comparing our journeys, or maybe you're comparing yourself to a colleague's business journey, you have to just accept where you're at in your journey and that you're on a completely different success path and completely different journey path. There are people who took decades to become successful. So don't compare yourself and feel like a failure because you're not at this level that somebody else is at. They probably worked on a lot of different things to get to that point, and you need to work on your own journey. And that's something I really had to learn and implement in myself. So stop comparing yourself. And usually when we're jealous of other people's positions or where they're going is usually where we want to be at. So I kind of flip the script in this sense. Instead of comparing myself to somebody else's journey or somebody else's success, what I like to do is see, what do I like about their success? What do I see that I want? And what can I take as their best practices that I know on the bare surface and apply it to my business? Or what can I do to learn and get to that point for my business, for my journey? So I celebrate those people as inspirations or mentors in a sense for me to get to the level that I want to, versus comparing myself and showing a pity party, because there's no fun in that. My number 4 tip is take care of yourself. I say I like to do Tina time. So another way you can call it is taking yourself out on a date. I know right now a lot of places are in quarantine. Maybe you can't really go out and do that, but treat yourself. So every Sunday I shut down. I don't do any work. And I kind of just spend the day doing stuff that I enjoy. So there's some days where I just want to Netflix and have some wine and just totally not do anything. Sometimes I want to go read and set out during the day when it's not 100 degrees here in Arizona and read for hours. Other times I like to get physical and be active. And so I'll have a hobby. I just thought of doing some woodworking stuff and creating a bread. What do you call those things where you store the bread? A bread box. So think about those things. Have a hobby that I can't even think of the word to articulate it. There's nothing to do with it in the sense of you don't have to accomplish anything. You're just doing it for pure joy. So have that time for yourself, because that's a way of treating yourself with some self-love. That's a way of building yourself up in a sense. So take yourself on a date. Maybe you just go in your own room and watch a movie all on your own, or you play games on the computer, whichever like really floats your boat and really re-energizes you. Take yourself on a date. Even if you can only do it for a couple of hours, do it. Take care of yourself. So my number 5 tip is not a normal thing that everyone, I think, actually promotes, but this has been something big for me, is journaling. So not everyone likes to journal or know how to journal. I really like to just go and Google some journal prompts and just write down and brain dump on my day. The reason why I like journaling and brain dumping in that way and how that shows self-compassion is you're not bottling up tension in your body. So just completely write it out. And a lot of times when I'm stuck on a problem or stuck on being creative, or I'm having a brain fog, I don't need a journal prompt. I just kind of write down and brain dump what my day was like, how I felt, what I'm stuck on. And then I might ask a question. And then in the morning, I might get that answer. So those are some ways that you can start showing yourself some self-compassion. Journaling really helps you express yourself without the worry of confrontation with another person or worry about getting the right answer or figuring out the right answer right then and there with yourself. So tell me, do you have any of your own tips that you want to add to this? Put them in the comments. I would love to know about them. And tell me which tips really are going to help you out and you want to apply that in your life. So I'm really excited about Wellness Wednesdays. I'm excited about next week's topic. I'm going to keep that a secret and I'll post that in the stories later today. But I talk a lot more about the mindset and actions it takes to step into leadership and to run and grow your business day to day in my free 5-day employee to CEO challenge. So by the end of the 5 days, you're really going to understand what it takes to step into that leadership position and know exactly what to do each day in your business so you can show up and grow it. It'll start July 13th to the 17th, and you can sign up at profitproject.co/E2C challenge. I have that here in the description and here in the pinned comments here on Instagram. And I can't wait for you to join. I already have 3 people in it, so I'm super excited. So there are going to be live video trainings every day starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, July 13th to the 17th, and we're going to have a fun little Facebook pop-up group for the challenge. Well, I'm going to pop off. I will see you guys tomorrow here at 9 a.m. for Ask Me Anything. Bring your business and mindset questions, and I will be here to answer. All right, bye, guys.